think you might think I'm a noob because I only use Ubuntu. Well, in fact, that's not entirely correct. In fact, I use Arch, by the way. But one might think installing Arch is very, very hard. I don't know why. Because look, I'm gonna run Arch Linux right now. I use Arch, by the way. Look, Arch Linux. I don't know what's the problem. Look, well, I can. Well, this is Arch Linux. I have like the micro here. Arch, by the way. No. Some Python. Yes. Yeah. Print. Well, here we have Arch Linux, I guess. Well, but this isn't very interesting. How do you install Arch Linux like this? If we are on Ubuntu. Well, if you want a larp, but you don't want to have to install this thing, you might. I just use podman. Yes. Well, right now I don't have any container. But let's check it out. We check the command. Verify. And this is what it does. Well, let's see. I have my container. I verify if it is running. I start the container. Well, guys, the thing is, podman isn't designed to use like this. I mean, I can even run graphic things with this. Like, I set up the X11 server to do it, but it wasn't made for this. If you want to make something similar, I recommend DistroBox, but I don't use DistroBox myself because it told me something like installing basic packages. The problem was that those basic packages were like 1.2 gigabytes in stock, compressed. It was installing like 55 packages or something, but I don't need all that. I just needed to try Arch. Why do I want like the Vulkan driver if my PC doesn't even have Vulkan? Doesn't even support it. I have like a i3 7 doesn't have Vulkan. Well, I recommend, but it was a problem of mine because my internet is very slow. I can like it's very very slow, as well as my PC. I don't have the best PC in the world, but this is enough for making videos for you. Well, now for making you know this works, let's do X clock. Because I need to give it permission to use like this thing, the XCI server, but it works. That's the important thing. It works. Okay, though it doesn't detect it because this system is running inside a container. Anyway, this is Arch. Now let me show you some of the command I use. But first, I downloaded a Arch Linux image. I use like the latest version. Okay, this thing. Podman running name archbox. You need all this shit to do it manually with Podman. It isn't very user friendly. So if you wanted, I could leave this from. I could do a Podman tutorial later. Let's see. With this we list all servers for all containers even if they're down. You can see get the 6 days ago, exit about a minute ago. Well, now here we have, well, this is also something I could show you later. Skin copy, a very good program. I'll show you in the next episode, I guess. Now we start. I hope we run this, but I discovered a problem on Archbox. I mean Podman. Podman, if I started and stopped with the script I designed, it works normally. But if I use it with Podman start or Podman stop, it will give some problems. What problem do I mean? It will kill the container with SIGKILL. Podman will kill the container with SIGKILL, and that has corrupted the entire container before. Luckily, I made a backup, but if not, I would have to have downloaded all packages again, which with my internet isn't very fast. Well, let's see. So this is the commands I like use. I check if it's running, start the container. I exit it as the user pwd, clear and hosted and bash. And for stopping the container, I discovered that as root, I run this command pkill u term exit, which sends sigterm to every single process inside the container. Never run this on your PCs directly, by the way, never. Under any circumstance, it will kill the entire system. It's like shutting off the computer. I think it's technically safe. I have never tried it because it sends sigterm, so If you know system allows for every single file that the programs or processes in your computer were executed to close correctly before the process decides to stop itself. But anyway, it's also kind of risky because you will turn off your computer. I think I don't know. And it gives every single process, including the other process or the process you are executing the command line. Okay? And it has to be executed as root, obviously. You can technically execute it as this user, dwed, but it will kill the session of this user, but it will not kill the container. Okay, well, as you see, creating a container for podman isn't the hardest thing in the world. It's like, let's see, my notes. You have like to give it the display, the XTG. You have to mount the same stuff, the same environment, the audio server, the X11 server, a lot of things. I had to, well, I think you have to find the render interface, the volume, and a lot of things, because if you don't have all of these things, I recommend you to use DistroBox or search a tutorial for DistroBox. This is more manual. If you want to have less floats and more control, I recommend to use podman directly, because it's like the most modern thing for this. DistroBox uses podman behind the scenes. With the problem, DistroBox wanted to install me 55 packages that will have occupied me like 10 gigabytes. What? This, there's, but it's, if you have a decent internet and a decently sized hard drive, you won't mind a little bit of extra gigabytes. So, goodbye.